And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting out with tonight's weather, we've got low pressure here pulling northwestward in toward the Kenai Peninsula, weakening as it goes. And then that's going to push a trough, keeping it wet over the southeast coast, but not quite as heavy on the precipitation as you've seen over the last 24 hours. And also areas of rain here along the North Gulf Coast into mainly western Prince William Sound, fair over the interior. And then a weak low here, Kuskokwim Bay produces areas of light snow, possibly as far east as the Kuskokwim Valley, more likely along the Kuskokwim Mountains to the west, up to St. Lawrence Island, and then more showery conditions down toward the Aleutians. Next system here, front pushing northward. Tonight, tomorrow makes a pretty good jog up right up to Kodiak Island, pushing in toward the southwest Gulf of Alaska. Gale force winds and rain heavy at times moving into Kodiak Island, increasing rain and wind for the North Gulf Coast as well, drying out over the southern panhandle. Still some shower activity to the north, but again, even lighter precipitation amounts tomorrow than what you'll see tonight. And this trough here along the southwest coast will produce areas of light snow and snow showers from Bristol Bay right on up in toward the Bering Strait. And mostly dry eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula. And then from about Nikolsky westward, look for snow showers there, but light winds across all of the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And for the day Friday, very light winds out here for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, with a widespread area of light snow and definitely cloudy skies extending all the way down to the Aleutian chain. More snow showery conditions here, but amounts very light. And this trough along the southwest coast keeps light snow going, again from St. Lawrence Island right on down in toward Bristol Bay. And now we have low pressure just southeast of Kodiak Island, another front pushing more wind and rain northward there up toward the western North Gulf Coast. Areas of rain and snow mainly on the upslope areas of the mountainous terrain across southern Alaska. Definitely wet Prince William Sound, North Gulf Coast, and still unsettled for the Panhandle. And then for the day on Saturday, a weaker low now south of the Cape Yakataga or so, and a trough. Again, keeps it cloudy and wet over the southeast coast with showers extending back to the west into Prince William Sound. But the central interior to the east and north, dry conditions with light winds. Weak low over the Seward Peninsula will produce an area of light snow again from the Bering Strait right on down across the southwest interior to about Togiak Bay there, maybe into the southern Kuskokwim Valley, but not too bad there. And then another system here coming northeastward spreads rain into the Alaska Peninsula and Kodiak Island, especially during the afternoon hours. Otherwise pretty high and dry with light winds over the Aleutians and much of the Bering Sea. Just a very weak system out here farther to the west and northwest. And for the lows tonight, again, around 10 degrees in the Copper River Basin and teens to lower 20s for south central Alaska, or teens and 20s here, south central Alaska. 25 to 30 in Bristol Bay, and lows in the 30s to lower 40s for the southeast coast. Highs for tomorrow, anywhere in the, mostly in the 40s there for the Panhandle. Mid-20s, Copper River Basin, and 35 to 40 south central Alaska area, and lower 40s, Kodiak, Homer, and 30s for Bristol Bay, followed by lows right around 10 again in the Copper River Basin. 20s for south central Alaska, upper 20s Kodiak Island, in the 20s for Bristol Bay, 30s to near 40 for the southeast coast. That'll be followed by highs anywhere from 40 to 50 there for the Panhandle, mid-20s in the Copper River Basin, mid-30s much of south central Alaska, but lower 40s again, places like Seward, Homer, Seldovia, down to Kodiak, in the 30s for Bristol Bay, and then up to the north. Lows tonight anywhere from 15 to 30 below. Coldest again on the north slope, could well into the minus 30s there again. And then the highs for tomorrow, coming above zero, 5 to 15 there in the Tanana Valley, a little below zero over toward the Yukon Flats to Arctic Valley, Arctic Village, and about -5 for Anatuvik, but well below zero for the north slope in the Arctic coast, 20 for Nome, 7 for Shishmaref, Kotzebue, and Point Hope. And then lows for Thursday morning, again back below zero, but not too far there, anywhere from 0 to 10 below in the Tanana Valley, about 15 below there for Galena, and 3 below Shishmaref to 8 above there at Nome, Gamble, and St. Michael, with lows again 20 to 35 below for the north slope out to the Arctic coast, followed by highs staying below zero north of the Brooks Range, right a little below zero there. Brooks Range into the upper Yukon Valley, single numbers back toward the northwest, and 5 to 15 in the Tanana Valley. Highs tomorrow, teens along the southwest coast, otherwise, lows for Wednesday morning, teens along the southwest coast, 20s, lower 30s elsewhere, followed by highs mostly in the lower to mid 30s, up 20s for the coastal areas, lows mid-teens for the coastal zones, and mid-20s for the Pribilofs, with lows in the 20s to lower 30s for the Aleutian chain. And then the highs, not much different. Staying in the 30s for the Aleutians and upper 20s for the Pribilofs, right around 20 for the southwest coast.